What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, NFL DFS video. This is week 4 rankings video. So, just like we've done in the past, anytime a video gets at least 50 likes, you leave a comment, you have a chance to win a free week of DFS content. If this video gets at least 100 likes, someone will win a month pass. 125 likes, someone will win a year pass. And if this video gets 150 likes, one lucky person, all you got to do is like the video, leave a comment, be a subscriber, will win a lifetime pass brought to you by FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. So, just like we've done in the past, we're getting this rankings video out to you. These rankings are of Wednesday morning. So we get them out there. We wait a couple of days for any, news and notes moving forward for practices, game time decisions, injured players, stuff like that. We will update these Sunday morning, pretty early Sunday morning, usually by like 8 a.m. Sunday morning, because most of the walkthroughs will be done. We'll be ready to go. We kind of know what to expect. There is a game in England, though, 9:30 a.m. Is it Eastern? Yeah, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So it is pretty early, but we will get these updated. Just kind of waiting on some news and notes. But other than that, we're going to go through the top 10 at each position. Kind of just discuss and base a little bit onto DraftKings and look at that, and then we'll go from there. So be on the lookout for the matchup breakdown, the whole slate. We're going to have a video for the Thursday Night Football game between the Packers and the Lions. We had a lot of success in breaking down plays for Monday night, and a lot of you loved it. You hit me up, you DM me on Twitter. So, yeah, that being said, if you have never checked out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, check out the site right now. You can sign up for FTA Plus. It is $24.99 for a month. That includes a month of NFL, PGA, MMA, NASCAR, NBA. It'd be right at the beginning of the NBA season. You won't get, obviously, a full month of that, but that'll roll up. If you have any questions, you can check that out. So, that being said, I don't think it's a surprise who the number one quarterback for us this week. His picture is right here, Mr. Josh Allen. So, looking at this, these are the orders I have this. So, right now, number one, Josh Allen versus Miami. Miami just put up 70 last week. They did give up some points as well. Josh Allen is good. He has not been utilizing his tight ends as much, so I would definitely focus on pairing him up with a wide receiver or two, and then looking at running back James Cook as well. Number 2 is Jalen Hurts versus Washington. I absolutely love this matchup for him. So if we look at these two, Josh Allen going up against Miami, they currently rank 14th against the quarterback position. On our cheat sheet, we have the plays that we like, then we have the defensive rank against that position, and then we have the defensive rank against that position in their last 5 games. Obviously, that would go back to last year, but those are on our cheat sheets. And most of the cheat sheets already done. I'm just kind of some fine-tuning, and then if other news breaks and comes out during the week, we'll update it. But we're very excited. We got that ready to go. We also have the Thursday Night Football Showdown cheat sheet as well. Also, we have a fantasy football league here on DraftKings, 200 available spots. I will link down below to get in. It's $10 a week. We've only had 4 entrants the last 2 weeks. First week we had 9 people create a lineup. Would love to get more. It's $10. It will scale down. If we were to get 200 people into it and you all signed up for the week, 1,800 in prizes, we would have, I think first place would be 580. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely click the link down below. You can also find all of the rankings down here. We have all the quarterbacks. We have like 100 running backs, 100 and something wide receivers, all the tight ends, all the defenses as well. So number 2, like I said, was Jalen Hurts going up against Washington, 19th against the quarterback. If you look at this, they're averaging about 203 yards per game from them. They also give up rushing yards as well. We know that Jalen Hurts can rush 2 touchdowns any given time, so you could look at him. The defense overall, they're giving up an average of 331.7 yards per game, so absolutely love Jalen Hurts. And then when we look at Josh Allen with Miami defense, their matchup, they're giving up 231 yards in the air to the quarterbacks through 3 weeks, 130 on the ground. Josh Allen can run as well. Overall, they're giving up 361 as an average, so I absolutely love that. Brings us to number 3 is Justin Herbert versus Las Vegas. Now, this will be contingent on if Garoppolo is in and not questionable, which he is still questionable right now, but he has a fantastic... He's still in there as of today. Let's see. Okay, so if Garoppolo is out, it'll probably be Brian Hoyer, and this game could get out of hand easily. But I do love this matchup here for Justin Herbert. We look at him. Las Vegas ranks 20th overall, giving up an average of 220 to the quarterback, ranked 15th versus the quarterback. And then we see they give up runs as well. Justin Herbert doesn't run as much, but I do like Justin Herbert here, number 3. Number 4 is Patrick Mahomes. Now, I have him here because he could have a fantastic game, or they could get up big on the Jets and then him just hand it off or even get out of the fourth quarter. Kind of like what we saw Tua on Sunday. I'm not saying he's going to put up numbers like Tua did, but Tua was pretty good. Patrick Mahomes is the most expensive quarterback on the slate, though. Usually I like to look for quarterbacks that are 8,000 or below, just because if you get up too high, it's really hard to build a lineup through. But you can find those. You can find those backup running backs like a Chan that came out of nowhere, helped you build that lineup. Not saying that's going to happen again, but we do have Mahomes going up against the Jets. The Jets, it's crazy to think about. The Jets were the talk of the town since Rodgers went there. They had everything to do with Hard Knocks. They come in, 3 plays, and Rodgers is out. All of a sudden, Saleh's lost the locker room, apparently. The defense is not happy with Zach Wilson. Everyone hates Zach Wilson. You don't know what's going to come out. Obviously, the media are playing into this, but if the Jets are actually a mess like everyone says they are, Mahomes could have a field day here. Not saying he doesn't. We've seen 20-plus out of him all 3 games. A fantastic game here. Obviously, he could have had even more, but they pulled him basically, I think, the whole fourth quarter just because of the score against the Bears. So we kind of look at that matchup-wise. They're giving up 222 yards per game in 3 games. They're giving up a lot of runs or rushing yards. We know Mahomes can run. He did have sort of a limp. This is definitely, you can kind of see, he appeared to injure his right leg near the end of the first half of Sunday's blowout. He was limping, but confirmed that he's fine. I can't remember if that is the leg he hurt previously. But yeah, I mean, Jets are giving up an average of 351.3 yards total offense through 3 weeks. Love me some Patrick Mahomes here. Number 6 is Kirk Cousins. We kind of know what to expect. He's putting up a ton of points here. He's 7,100. Carolina ranks 9th here, but we could see a ton of matchup. Just look at this. 29 against the Chargers in that week, in week 1 or week 3. Week 2, 32 to Philly. His matchup. Now, Carolina's defense has been pretty good against the quarterback, but, I mean, Kirk Cousins, he's got Justin Jefferson to throw to. They are given an average of 329 total yards per game, so I do like Kirk Cousins there at number 6. Number 7 is Anthony Richardson. It will really just depend on if he does start. It does sound like he's good to go and doesn't have a concussion. Obviously, he didn't play in week 3. He is trending in the right direction, and he gets a matchup against the Rams. But the Rams are ranked 3rd against the position. They're only given an average of 181 passing yards per game. The Rams' defense has been pretty good, but we do have him at number 7. Number 8 is Lamar Jackson against Cleveland. We know Cleveland's defense is pretty good, so that's kind of why I've got him at 8 right now. Number 9 is Joe Burrow. He's not 100% healthy. If he continues to play, I don't think he's going to be 100% healthy the entire year, which is unfortunate. But they're kind of waiting on that bye week. They come off with a gritty win on Monday Night Football. He comes in here. We saw that Jamar Chase finally had his breakout game of the year so far. A lot of people already gave up on him. That's the thing. I understand fantasy football is like 16 weeks, and then, you got to get a little bit, got to go. People gave up on Jamar Chase after basically 1 week. Then second week didn't help, and people were off of him. So, yeah, looking at that, I've got Joe Burrow, number 9. And number 10 is Trevor Lawrence versus Atlanta. Was fully expecting Jacksonville to win last week. I think a lot of people were, and they did not. His matchup, his game log there, lost to Houston by 20. 279 yards there, had a touchdown and interception. Coming in, 736 yards, only 3 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. I don't mind him, but he is fringe top 10 for me this week. So if you want to see the rest, click the link down below. That'll be this week's quarterback rankings video. Then we get to our running backs. I don't think it's a surprise. McCaffrey's number 1. We got Christian McCaffrey going up against Arizona. I know Arizona right here. And McCaffrey is very expensive. I understand that. He's $9,200. He's very expensive, but he has a fantastic plus matchup against Arizona. They're giving up 134 rushing yards per game, which ranks 26 out of 32. Overall, their defense ranks 26 out of 32, giving up an average of 36.7. McCaffrey has scored in like 6 straight games, I think they said. I absolutely love McCaffrey here. I'm looking at him. He's involved in the passing game. He's involved in the running game. Hell, he could even do a flea flicker and get a touchdown as a pass, which was pretty crazy because I dominated my week 3 matchup season long, and I had a passing touchdown from Keenan Allen, so which was awesome. But that being said, McCaffrey can do the exact same thing. I fully expect him. You can just look at his game logs. 85 yards last week, had 22.9, which was his worst game at 9,100. Week 1 against Pittsburgh, 152 yards with a touchdown. He scored in all the games this year. I fully expect if he stays healthy, he's good to go there. So that's why he's our number 1 running back this week. Number 2 is Tony Pollard. Now, he was our number 1 last week. He's 7,800, so he's significantly less than McCaffrey. Game logs, 18.1. Did not have a touchdown, but it had 122 yards against Arizona. I love this matchup for him against New England. They are giving up an average of 93.3 rushing yards per game, which ranks 9th. So New England's defense has been pretty good, but I do like Tony Pollard here. I think they're kind of probably embarrassed by losing by 2 touchdowns to Arizona, and I do like a bounce back from Dak, and I do like a bounce back from Pollard. So I've got it at number 2. Number 3 is Kenneth Walker Jr. Kenneth Walker the third. We saw him last week. He's down here at 6,700. Got a fantastic matchup against the Giants. Coming off 2 touchdowns in week 3. He had 2 touchdowns in week 2. Last week, 97 yards rushing, 59 yards in the air. Absolutely love Kenneth Walker, and he's a cheaper option at 6,700, at least on DraftKings anyway. Number 4 is Bijan Robinson. I was big on him last week, and now he's going up against Jacksonville. The problem is this is in England, so the 8:30 a.m. start time or 9:30 a.m. Eastern start time. So you have to play the all-day slate, I believe. So make sure if you're in there. What we got him, he did nothing for us last week. 33 yards. 27 yards receiving. That's it. Was big on him. He did not come through for us, but I do have him here at number 4. Number 5 is Travis Etienne Jr. Kind of let us down last week. This is in the same game. It's in England, so you kind of got to play the all-day slate there. Number 6 is Josh Jacobs. Now he has this matchup here. He's still 7,100, so I'm a little bit leery on this. He hasn't done a ton so far this year. Again, though, we know what kind of runner he is. We know that he is dominant when he is performing very well. He has not performed very well right now. He's going to have that breakout game, and it could be this week. Looking at this, the Chargers are ranked in the middle of the pack for giving up rushes per yard or per game, which is 113.7. Overall, this defense is ranked 31 out of 32. They're giving up, out of 3 weeks, they're giving up a total or an average of 450.7 yards per game in 3 weeks, which is absolutely nuts. If Josh Jacobs can get involved here, especially if it's going to be Hoyer and not Garoppolo, Jacobs goes even further. I think they're going to lean on him a lot more. So it'll really be dependent on Garoppolo's health. If he's out for a concussion, we got Hoyer. They're going to hand it off more. I love me some Josh Jacobs there. Number 7 is Raheem Mostert. Now the problem is, I believe Jeff Wilson Jr. is back this week. But I love Mostert here. He absolutely dominated. Achane also dominated. He had 45.2, where Achane had 54, I believe, on DraftKings. 82 yards on the ground, 60 in the air. had a receiving touchdown and 3 rushing touchdowns out of Mostert. Now, people are going to chase this. I fully expect that. But he already has, it's crazy, he has 7 touchdowns on the year through 3 weeks. Had a fantastic matchup versus Denver. Now he goes up against Buffalo. Now, Buffalo's defense is pretty good. They are giving up an average of 110 yards on the ground. The problem is, again, there's a lot of mouths to feed in this backfield for Miami. So that is definitely something to look at. He's not going to go off like he did all the time. Buffalo is ranked 2nd defense overall. So this one is why he's not in my top 5. He does have a tougher matchup this week. Number 8 is Derrick Henry. He still has not scored a touchdown. And he's still priced up at 7,000. So we look at his game logs, 20 yards last week. He had 20 yards against Cleveland last week. And people paid $7,400 for him. He had 80 yards week 2. And week 1, he had 63 yards. Or he does have 1 touchdown. He had 1 touchdown last week. 163 total yards. Usually that's 1 game for him. He's another one that's going to have a breakout game. We know it. Since he's given up 151.7 rushing yards per game. If there is a breakout game for Derrick Henry this early in the season, it's this game right here. Ranked 30th out of 32. Derrick Henry is obviously RB1. He's there. 151.7 yards per game. Don't be surprised if Derrick Henry is top 5 running backs after the last game finishes on Monday. Number 9 is James Cook against Miami. So we kind of look at this. We go down. We find some James Cook at 6,300. Miami's defense, 130.3 yards per game on the ground. He's in a good matchup here. They're ranked 24th out of 32. Overall, they're giving up 361 total yards per game on average through 3 weeks. At 6,300, you are saving quite a bit. 6,300 for Cook and a plus matchup where they have Bijan Robinson at 7,700 or ETN at 7,200. So you're saving some money there, and I do like that. And then number 10 is Kyren Williams. This is, what game is this? Oh, it's at noon. Okay. So we've got Kyren Williams at number 10. Looking down here now, Kamara is back. I just don't know what kind of workload he's going to get and what the situation with him is. So that is definitely something to monitor. But we got Kyren Williams coming in. Kind of a down game against Cincy in a close game on Monday night. Against San Francisco, had 28 fantasy points there. Matchup-wise, going up against the Colts, they're giving up an average of 114 yards per game to the running backs, which I absolutely love in this situation. So that is why Kyren Williams rounds out our top 10 running backs. If you want to see the rest of them, click the link in the description down below. Wide receivers. I don't think it's going to be a surprise. Justin Jefferson tops the list yet again, just like last week. It's going to be that way pretty much all year. He's that good. And he had a breakout game, so let's just look into the numbers. So I'm going to go to the top 5 real quick. So number 1 is Justin Jefferson at Carolina. I love this matchup, and we'll look at those numbers in a minute. We got Stephon Diggs versus Miami. Number 3 is Tyreek Hill versus Buffalo. Now, Waddle should be back this week, so it will take a little bit of looks his way. They're going to go to Waddle's way. Then you've got the 3-headed running back situation where that's going to take a little bit from him too, but we know how good Tyreek Hill is, so that is that. Number 4 is Davante Adams. Absolutely love Davante Adams against this Chargers secondary. I'm hoping that Garoppolo is there over Hoyer. I would feel more confident having Davante Adams number 4 if Garoppolo is starting. Number 5 is Jamar Chase. Like I said, just had a fantastic game on Monday night. We look forward to hopefully continuing here against Tennessee. We've got number 6 is A.J. Brown. Everyone and their mom was on Devonta Smith Monday night. If you watched our breakdown video for Monday Night Football in the showdown analysis, I said take A.J. Brown because it felt it's his time. It was his turn. Devonta Smith screwed everyone over on DraftKings because everyone saw that. I think Brown, Smith, and Mike Evans all to get 30-plus yards, and Smith had 28. I love me some A.J. Brown. He is the clear-cut number one wide receiver there. Devonta Smith just took it from him the first couple of weeks. So absolutely love A.J. Brown at number 6. Number 7 is Keenan Allen. With Mike Williams gone, he's obviously still number 1, but more targets should come his way. Love him here in that same game against the Raiders. Number 8 is Deebo Samuel. Does have that questionable tag. I think he plays. He had the questionable tag last week. He absolutely dominated for us too. So had a fantastic time in Thursday Night Football with Deebo. Number 9 is Puka. Has still not scored a touchdown. He's still getting the targets. He has a ton of targets this year. We know that. He's the most targeted rookie wide receiver in history right now, and I feel like that just continues here with him and Matt Stafford while Cooper Kupp is out. And then number 10 is CeeDee Lamb. Will be real dependent on this Dallas offense, but we are going to dig into these numbers and we're going to see how these players fared last week. So taking a look, Justin Jefferson, wide receivers, number 1. Now his matchup, Carolina, they do rank 4th against the opposing wide receiver. Game logs, we saw he's had, like, look at these numbers. At least almost at least 150 yards a game. He had 149 in week 3, 159 in week 2, and 150 in week 1. He only has 1 touchdown, but he's averaging 28.9 fantasy points per game, which is exactly what we need in our lineup. He could be a one-off. You could pair him up with Kirk. Looking at this, total defense, 13th overall for Carolina, but he's matchup proof. I absolutely love him there. So looking at wide receivers, Stephon Diggs, number 2, we've got him here. Miami ranked 20th against the wide receiver. Looking at here, 2 of his 3 games, he's hit over 100 yards, has 1 touchdown on the year, averaging 21.6 fantasy points per game, and he's 8,100 on DraftKings. 1,500 less than Jefferson and a better matchup for him. So I absolutely love that. Sorry about that. Dogs are barking. I had another dog outside because why wouldn't they? Where was I at? Yeah, like I said, Stephon Diggs has a better matchup than Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson. So I absolutely love a Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs stack here. Looking at the next one, looking at our rankings. Number 3 is Tyreek Hill. Again, like I said, we're going to see some of his targets go away because Waddle is here. Or he's questionable, but he should be good. Believed he practiced in full on Wednesday. So looking at this, we still have that. Tyreek is 9,200 though, but he's averaging 32.1 fantasy points per game through 3 weeks. 157 yards last week, 40 yards in week 2. In week 1, he had 215 yards. He has 412 yards with 25 receptions on the year. Absolutely love this. Would like it a little bit more, again, if Waddle was out, but I can still take this because we do look at Buffalo defense. Now, they are good. They are a good defense. Third overall against wide receiver. So I do like Diggs a little bit more. He does have a favorable matchup, and he's cheaper than both of these guys if you want to pay down a little bit. We've got Devontae Adams and Jamar Chase. Just looking at these numbers. Devontae, I really want Garoppolo to play because if Garoppolo plays, I absolutely Devontae Adams, 31st overall for him. Defense-wise, they give up a ton of points. I absolutely love him. Jamar Chase, same thing. He's in a fantastic matchup. As long as Joe Burrow stays healthy-ish while he's out there, I do like that there. And then you can just kind of see we've got CeeDee Lamb going up against 11th. We've got A.J. Brown here, 20. So Washington is 22nd against the wide receiver. So just a lot of things to like about this week. If you feel, matchup proof basically are these 2 guys, but in a better matchup and you save some money would be Stephon Diggs at wide receiver. Then our tight end, I don't think it's going to be a surprise. Travis Kelce leads the way yet again, taking selfies, calling. I'm assuming this picture that I pulled off Google is him calling Taylor Swift in the suite. I really don't know. So in this order, Kelce, number 1. Number 2 is TJ Hawkinson. Number 3 is George Kittle. 4 is Mark Andrews at Cleveland. 5 is Sam Laporta at Green Bay. 6 is Darren Waller versus Seattle. 7 is Evan Ingram, which is in England, versus Atlanta. 8 is Dallas Goedert. 9 is Kyle Pitts. And 10 is Pat Freiermuth. So if we look at these numbers for tight end wise, Kelce in this matchup, New York Jets, technically Jersey Jets. They're giving up. There's only 2 other teams that are worse against the tight end. Kelsey's come on strong. I really like Kelsey in this one. Hawkinson is another one going up against Carolina. This would be one of mine if you don't want to pay up for Justin Jefferson, but you still want exposure to the passing game with Kirk and somebody. Hawkinson is that guy at number 2. Looking at other ones, you got Kittle, Andrews. Now, Kittle, he's been kind of iffy. He is 5,100. Coming off his best game last week against the Giants, where they were up big, had 90 yards there. Be on the lookout for that again. I've really liking some things out of there. Sam Laporta, Thursday Night Football, so depending on when you watch this video, maybe he's already played. I do have him here as the top 5. And then Waller's more of a tournament option for me. Evan Ingram is a Sunday early morning play. Dallas Goedert against Washington. As long as that Philly stack goes, Goddard hopefully will start to see more targets for him. Kyle Pitts in England, and like I said, Freiermuth here a little bit. So just looking at him, it will really depend on the quarterback play, but his best game came last week. He only had 4 targets, so that is the problem. He's not getting targeted a ton, but he does have 2 touchdowns on the year. So that would be more of a cheaper salary relief play there. And then we can just look at the defenses real quick. Number 1 I like this week is San Francisco 49ers. Number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs versus Zach Wilson. Number 3, the Eagles versus Sam Howell. Number 4, the Dallas Cowboys, who just got absolutely just unbelievably embarrassed versus Arizona. I like them against New England here. Number 5 is the Browns versus Baltimore. This one's iffy there, but Browns have been really good. Number 6 is Baltimore Ravens. Bring it back there. Number 7 is the Steelers versus Houston. Number 8, the Saints versus Tampa Bay. 9, the Seahawks versus the Giants. And number 10, the Denver Broncos versus the Chicago Bears. And there you have it. That is the defensive rankings. And those are the quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and defense rankings for week 4 of your NFL DFS season. If you have any questions, get them down below, and let's get those numbers pumped. Let's get those numbers. Let's get 150 likes on this video so I can give away a lifetime pass. I know we can do it. So good luck this week. Be on the lookout for the matchup breakdown. Be on the lookout for the Thursday Night Football breakdown. Be on the lookout for everything we have to offer from fantasyteamadvisors.com. Good luck in week 4, everybody. Let's bring home some bacon. Peace.